Cut. That didn't go well. We'll do it again. Okay, let's do it again. Cancel. Hi. So I'm very happy today to do this video. I just checked my Ielts score and it turned out to be really good, which is very unexpected for me because I had no preparation for this exam. I have zero preparation. Literally, I did not prepare anything for doing my Ielts. Kind of a surprise for me. As soon as I saw my result today, I felt like, okay, I need not take my exam again. Otherwise, I had to spend like $300 again. So I just prayed God, like, let me get an average score. But I got better than an average, so I'm happy. Of course, it's an easy exam. But anyways, you can see me, I'm very happy. I wanted to share with you all, like, what was the experience and all, like, why did I not prepare? Should we prepare? If you didn't have time for any preparation, just like me, what you should do just before you go into exam. Just gonna share some of my tricks and tips that I used to score good in this exam. And by the end of this video, you'll know how much I scored in my Ielts. So let's get started. Okay. So point number one, I did not prepare for this exam, not because of any kind of overconfidence or negligence or stupidity or nothing. It's purely me not having any time. I have this busy schedule every day. I work and do my daily chores, I cook, and I have to shop for my groceries. I really don't have any time for studying. So, second thing, I'll talk about how I booked my exam, why I booked my exam, when I booked my exam. So I came to a conclusion that I'm never gonna take out my Ielts book and prepare for an English exam. So I thought, like, just let it go. Let's book an exam date so that at least then you will force yourself to do study every day. Of course, that didn't happen, but the good thing is that I booked a slot. So I booked for a date after a month, so that with the idea that I'll have 1 month of preparation time. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but yeah, at least like I booked it for a short period of time, so I could, get finished with it. So that's a good thing. So why I booked is, as I said, I just finished post-graduation now and I'm working right now. So I'm thinking to apply for a PR here, so for which Ielts is the first step. So there are like a couple of other steps. Before getting into the other stuff, I really wanted to get done with this part. So yeah, that's why I booked my test. How I booked is, I booked it with IDP. When I gave my Ielts academic before coming here, it was with IDP. I don't know, I have very positive feeling about IDP. I really love the exam pattern, examination setup, everything. So I really believe that IDP is the best thing and it suited me, I can say. Maybe it could be different for different people. There are different ways you can give your exam as well, like there are British Council, etc. So yeah, it varies from person to person. For me, IDP is really good. I booked a computer-based test through my laptop. So you can physically go to the location and book your test, or you can do it online. Definitely, online is much easier because of the COVID thing. Secondly, it is like you can do it just at your fingertips. So yeah, I did it online. So any kind of confusions, I can leave the links below where you can book your test. So as you all know, I live in Waterloo, so I really don't want to travel much for this exam. Firstly, it's a 3-hour long exam, so I don't want to tire myself by traveling. So I really booked at a place very close to my house. It's just 5 minutes drive from my place. So yeah, so I booked it in Conestoga College Waterloo campus. If somebody is living around just like me, you can definitely book there. It's really good. The examination hall is peaceful, not many people, like very few students, and the outside of the location is also really good. On the day of the examination, instead of preparing for the exam and looking into the last minute tricks and tips, I've been taking selfies and taking pictures of the nature outside the examination hall, so that's fun. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just checking my makeup. I hope I'm looking good. Next, I'll talk about the exam pattern. Of course, everybody knows about this. I'm just wasting your time. If you don't want to listen to me, just you're free to go. But I just wanted to share this thing for those who want to really listen from my side. So as you know, exam pattern is designed in such a way that you have 4 sections, that is reading, writing, listening and speaking. So speaking is a different part of the exam where you have to book your slot for speaking as well. So what I did is I booked my slot for the same day. I booked my speaking slot just a couple of minutes after the main exam. So I had my exam in the morning, the main exam, that is listening, writing and reading. That slot was from 9 to 12, and I booked my speaking slot as 12:30, I guess. Yeah, something around like that. So yeah, because I really don't want to go travel again to that place and feel nervous again. So I thought, you know, you're going to the exam, finish it. Just finish everything on one day. So I did it. I did all the 4 sections on one day. There are people who would be, you know, having different ideology. They would prefer maybe another day for speaking. Maybe people will not get the slot for the same day. So it purely depends upon luck or what you're thinking about. There are a few friends of mine who did not get to do their speaking test on the same day. So it depends upon the slot availability. So just keep checking for a day where you can do both together. That's my suggestion, because it's the best way to do the exam. Next thing I'm gonna talk is it's very useful for those people who are just like me, who are very, you know, having no time for preparation, but you know, wanted to score good. So for that reason, I'm gonna share my what can I say is my mantra for this success. Okay, my exam was yesterday and it was at 9 a.m. in the morning. So what I did is I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I know it's hard, but I thought, like, just before the exam, it's really good to wake up early and look into the final, you know, tips, that those crazy tricks, and know the exam pattern and know how the questions are gonna be, so that you will not be shocked by seeing those questions, and you know, you don't get that panic attack while doing your exam. So what I did is I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then so I started with listening. I did 1 test of listening. Listening is nothing but everybody is very good at English. Now English is like mainstream of communication, so I think everybody is good at English communication. Especially during the listening exam, it's mostly your concentration. The test, I think it's the test is testing your concentration levels more than your English knowledge. I feel that, I don't know, somehow I feel that. I don't know if you feel the same. Just comment down below and let me know that it's just the concentration levels. So when I did my mock test in the morning, just on the day of the exam, so I figured it out that you have to be concentrated when you do your exam, because listening, the conversation between people, they go extremely fast at one point of time and you miss on details. So I thought like, okay, this is a test for concentration. So I realized that. So this helped me in cracking my original test. So while listening, if I put full concentration on those words. So I also see that if you want to crack listening test, it's important for you to know the questions before you listen the topic. In the examination, you will have time to read the questions first, just to keep a rough idea of what you have to concentrate on. So when you are given that time, generally you just skim through, but I suggest not just skim through, but actually read it properly and try to understand. So once you read it, you will understand what kind of conversation is going to come up while you're listening. So that will be helpful. Really, that helped me a lot. So those are the 2 tricks I followed. Keep your concentration levels high, super high, okay? And secondly, just know your questions before listening to the topic. So for those who don't know, I'm telling this listening test, if you crack it, I think every other section is cool. At least for me, listening is the only thing that I had to struggle during the exam and before the exam too. So I was afraid that I will miss out some details. So if you have time, you can prepare listening more than any other section. Okay, let's talk about reading. Honestly, reading, I had zero preparation. Even on the day of the exam, as I told, I woke up at 5 o'clock. I did not do reading at all at that time. I did not. I just, although I did one thing, I saw what kind of questions we would get, okay? There are like, I think there are 3 types of questions. One is like, you have to match the paragraphs. So that is one type. I'm not going to go into details. I will just, one is like fill in the blanks, and the second thing is like true or false not given. So I think there are 3 kinds of questions that you can expect from reading section. Reading section, just go through the patterns of the question types and you will crack it. So the major challenge with me, at least, is with the true or false section, especially when you have to decide between false and not given. When you read a paragraph, you feel like when you read the question, you feel like that is false or might be not given. So it is kind of tricky. So just go through those type of questions so that you'll get more clarity of how to answer them. So in reading section, I can say that I think it's, out of all the sections, this is the easiest one. So I think you should score to the maximum, although I did not score much, but I think everybody else can. I feel like I dozed off during the reading part, but still I could score pretty much okay. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about my scores later. So yeah, I think reading is the easiest one. Let's talk about writing. Whoever is correcting the paper, they will look into certain points, certain key things that has to be present in your written section. There are 2 sections, that is a letter writing and an essay writing. Letter writing is 150 words and the essay writing is 250 words. And how did I know this? Because I happened to go through this just before the exam. If I didn't know this, I would have done really bad in my writing, because you have to know the word count at least before going to the exam. And also, the second thing, it should be in the format of paragraphs. So you can't just write everything in one big paragraph filling up the page. that is not how it works. You will score really bad if you do that. We have to write it in 4 paragraphs, and you have to write it in a particular way so that it will help you score well. So what I learned from my 1 hour of preparation is, okay, these are like stupid tricks that I implemented during the exam, but it might help. I'm not sure if you could make a count of the words while writing, but how do you keep a count is like when you write 4 paragraphs in a letter, you have to maintain like at least 5 lines in each paragraph. That's how you finish 150 words in first section. Second section, you have to write 8 lines in each paragraph. So this is the thing that I followed. I'm not sure if it'll work for everybody, but it worked for me. So first section, 4 paragraphs, write 5 lines in each paragraph. Second section, 4 paragraphs, write 8 lines in each paragraph. So that's how you finish your letter with the complete number of words as expected. Secondly, when we come to the letter writing, there are kind of 3 kinds of letter formats. One is formal, second is informal, third is semi-formal. So I'm not going to go explain much details about it, but I would suggest you to go through every single type of letter. For example, if you're given a formal letter, there is a different way you address people in a formal letter. Dear sir, dear madam. But if it is an informal letter, it's like, I don't know, how do we address people in an informal letter? Because I got a formal letter, so I totally forgot about informal letter. I think it should be Dear John, Dear Sarah, something like, it comes up with a name. So that is informal letter. And also, how do you end the letter differs for these 2 formats. And also, the first paragraph, it should be, giving points about why you're writing this letter to that particular person. Okay. Second, third paragraphs could be explaining about for example, my letter. I would tell you about my letter. My letter is to write a letter to your apartment owner, explaining him that the repairs done in your apartment need some changes. This is the letter which I got in my examination. So the first paragraph, I made it short. Like I think I've done 4 lines explaining why I'm writing this letter, and then I explain what is happening in the apartment where the repairs are not done. And the next paragraph, I explained the owner how he could improve the repairs and in what time slots you can execute the repairs, something like that. And the 4th paragraph is ending like thank you for considering the request, something like that. So that's the pattern that I followed, and it worked extremely well for me because I didn't think that I could score that well without practicing. I didn't even practice writing any letters or typing letters. Okay, one more suggestion that I could give to you is, if you are bad in typing, like some people are not really good in typing, I would suggest, instead of going for a computer-based test, you have to go for a pen and paper test. So that is one suggestion. Otherwise, if you want to go for a computer-based test, you just need to practice typing. It's not really bad. You have like, I think 40 minutes. Yeah, 40 minutes is really good for writing 150 plus 250. 40 minutes, 400 words, not too bad. You can do it. Yeah, second section carries a heavy weightage than the first section. So definitely give more time to your second section. This is where I lost marks. Since we get to see our letter first, we happen to spend more time on the letter. But I would suggest first write your essay and come back to your letter, because in that way you can write more in your essay, put more ideas in your essay, because that has high weightage and will help you to score well. If you go for the letter first, you can never stop writing after some point of time, so you might not have time for the second section. So why waste time in letter when it has less weightage? That is my concept here, but I did not apply this concept during my exam, but I suggest others do that. So essay writing, frankly speaking, I really don't know what I did in my exam. My topic is huge shops, retail stores have been increasing daily, and this led to a decrease in the small local shops. Explain your views and opinions on this point, and then what is your conclusion. This was the topic vaguely. As I said, I maintained my paragraph that much. I had a clear introduction and a clear opinion of mine in the last final conclusion part, last paragraph, and the sections in the between of these two paragraphs are my points which explains the topic. For example, I explained one paragraph. I've written one paragraph explaining how technology has impacted the rise of these big shops. What I'm trying to tell is, like, if you have like some concepts in your brain, you have to try to streamline them and try not to confuse the reader. So if you have one point, make that as one paragraph. Like the first point, explain in one paragraph. Second point, explain in second paragraph. Third point, explain in third paragraph. First paragraph is the introduction and the last paragraph is the conclusion. Close. That's it. Don't put 2 or 3 ideas in the same paragraph and confuse the reader. So I feel like that's a very bad idea. So I think this is as I said, this is my technique of writing. So obviously do your homework if you have time. Also keep in mind to separate your paragraphs either by going to the next line or leaving an indent before starting your paragraph. This is one way you can separate your paragraphs. That's all for writing. I don't have any other suggestions other than this. That's it. What else? Did we speak about every section? Listening, writing, reading, good. Yeah, speaking. Have not touched it because I thought like I could speak really well. So I was really confident in speaking sections. So I thought like, okay, there's no need of even looking at it. But that was a mistake, because even though you speak really good English, there are few expectations that have to be met when you enter the exam and do your exam. So it's better you look into that. So as I said, like we are going to sit for like 3 hours. So you will be really tired by the end of the test. So I suggest always have at least like 15 minutes, break between your speaking and the remaining parts of the test. So in that way you could breathe. You could really breathe and think about how you can do your speaking test, because this video is made for those people who did not prepare for the exam. So keep in mind, guys, we did not prepare for the exam, so we need to think of how to do our speaking test. So when I was thinking how to do my test, I decided to do one thing. When the examiner is going to ask questions, they're gonna look at your body language, the way you speak, how confidently you're putting your ideas, and the way you think, and your vocabulary. So everything is a package here. So make sure you're confident and you are comfortable speaking English. So that is what they are going to examine. So my topic is toys. I'm really surprised to get this topic, guys. Seriously, out of all topics in the world, I got toys. I never played with toys, guys. Like, I'll be frank here, during like my entire life I never played with toys because I had fun playing outside, outdoors. I was always outside my house playing, running here and there. And also I have a sibling. I don't need toys. He's my toy. So so I didn't play with toys. The first question the examiner asked me is, what's your favorite toy? And anyway, so when I made up stories in my mind, okay, and did not let the examiner know that I'm tensed about this question, even though I was tensed inside. So that is what you have to do. You have to pretend. You have to pretend for sure, okay? What did I say? So yeah, toys in the sense like most popular toys. As a girl, I think Barbie would be the best choice to explain. So I spoke about Barbie, Lego toys, etc. I made up really cooked up stories and then explained it. Secondly, I would like to tell that there's nothing wrong in thinking for a while and answering. You can just say, let me think about this. That's a good question. These kind of expressions help them to understand that you're thinking. They shouldn't come to a conclusion that you are dumb. They should come to a conclusion that, yeah, she knows English, she has ideas in brain, she's just thinking. So when you listen to a topic, then you can be casual and then just talk like, that's a good question, let me think about it. Take a moment, breathe, put your points out. My greatest suggestion here is, when you put your points out, don't stick to one point, because if you keep elaborating on one point, you will run out of ideas. So as I said, my question was on toys. I spoke one point on when she asked me about like what's your favorite toy and all. I spoke about Barbie for a couple of seconds, and then I went to Lego toys for a couple of seconds, and thirdly I went to skipping rope. So every question she asked, I made sure that I gave 3 points to her. Anything. Like as I said, I spoke about like Barbie, Lego and skipping rope. Like I kept it like 3 points for every question. This is the technique I use, so that I need not think a lot. Each time you change the topic, you get a thought about it automatically without thinking. So this is my trick that I use while speaking. I think that's all, guys. That's simple. Now we are going to talk about my scores. I really honestly don't remember what are my scores. Just let me check and see. I saw my score just in the morning and I really forgot about it. So I'm gonna check it again. I don't know how to see my scores. So let's check. Test results, preview. I just need to give you name details. That's my full name, guys. I'm gonna just switch this off for a bit because I'm going to put my passport and date of birth details. So you can go to the site and check your scores. So it's pretty easy way. So actually, they send the original copy of the scorecard to your house. You can check it online too. I got these scores in 5 days, I guess. At least I checked after 5 days. So yeah, it's pretty fast. I honestly don't remember my scores. Just checking it. 1 second. So when you put all your details in, this is how the screen looks. So this is the date I gave my test. So view results. There we go. So that's my score, guys. So it says overall I got 7.5, speaking 7, reading 7, writing 7.5, listening 8. So, as I said, that is the highest. That's my score, guys. I'm gonna give the score details again. I got overall 7.5, which is good for which is good for applying for PR. what is the ideal score for applying for PR is 877. So 877 is an ideal score, but I got 8777.5, which is better than the ideal score, so I'm happy. And with zero preparation, guys, I'm really proud of myself. I need a pat on the back. So yeah, that is my score. Thank God I got it over with. So if anybody is hesitating, thinking, no, I did not prepare, so let's not do it this time, maybe I should postpone it. So this kind of ideas, if anybody is having and carrying them for a while, I would suggest you to go right now and book your test date. It's gonna be so easy. It's gonna be piece of cake, trust me. That's all for today's video. I hope I shared my experience clear enough with you. I hope this video helped you a bit. Maybe people out there just like me who really didn't have time for any preparation but wanted to crack the exam. So I shared everything that I know that helped me to crack this exam. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching me and sparing time to see my vlog. I love you all subscribers. So be happy, be safe, and enjoy every moment. Bye.